Alright, what's up? We are back with more of Avernum 4, Greed and Glory. Let's go ahead and continue here. We're at 4 Avernum right now. There's a huge rat down here. Oh man, I really want access to the portal though. What is this room supposed to be? I guess we have to go through a different staircase then. In the center of this large cavern, you see the purpose of Fort Avernum. Once, this building received people who were teleported. Now, it sends them. You see a magical portal. It is a gossamer sheet of energy stretched like a bubble across a stone arch. Crystal conduits keep it powered. Magical techniques borrowed from Avanti, perhaps. The portal is like a hole in the air. Through it, you can see multiple locations shimmering in and out. Usually forts or cities, plus the occasional cave. All of them in the underworld. The magical energy being projected down here is very powerful. It makes your skin itch and your ears burn. You hope you can get away soon. A mage stands near the portal, making notes on a clipboard. When you enter, he turns and waves you over. Perhaps he can tell you how it works. This old wizard has spent far too many years being blasted by magical forces. His dry, gray skin is stretched tight over his bones. His eyes burn with a strange intensity. Most of his teeth have fallen out. His mind is far away. His voice is a raspy hiss, cold and unpleasant. He says, I am Vidrain, master of portals, at the tower, and now here. I got the captain's message. Approach. I will instruct. You may use the power of the portal. How do I use the portal? First, preparation. There are the pylons placed in the forts and cities all around. Placed in secret, placed to prepare for the portal. You must become attuned. Once this has happened, you may travel. Where are these pylons? The stone pylons, they are all around in all the towns and forts, placed in preparation. Look, search, and you will find. How do I become attuned? Walk up and touch it. That is all it takes. The magic of the portal, it will remember who you are, what your qualities are, and will use this knowledge to draw you through. When you find a pylon in a town, use it to become attuned. Okay, so that's why it's good to touch those in advance, by the way. Once I am attuned, how do I travel? Come here, to the portal. Enter the portal while focusing on Desire Pylon, and then you will be there, you and most of your spirit. To travel quickly, use the portal in the center of the circle. You will be asked where you want to travel to. You can go to any town where you have attuned with this pylon. How do I get back? Use the pylon at the destination. The pylons have the power to return you to this portal. And if I need a rest? He nods to the corridor to the east. There is a guest bedroom back there, provided as a safe refuge for our travelers. Vidrain chuckles a dry, strangled sound. Yes, more instruction. You must know the portal or it will hurt you. Always learn more. You are at the Tower of Magi. Yes, I was master of the portal there. I have instructed many adventurers in the use of portals, though things were much cruder in the old days. How was the old portal crudely operated? By learning and reciting 3-word chants. Oh, how silly we sounded. The new way is much better. Were you there when the tower was destroyed? Yes, but I was by the portal. I used it moments before it would have been too late, and thus I survived. Did you always stand next to the portal in the tower? Yes. Oh, yes. The energy is irritating at first. But then the sound, it changes. It sounds like singing. If you spend enough time by the portal, it becomes lovely. Yes. Can you teach me any magic? Vidrain is annoyed. Teach magic? Foolish young one, I am teaching the magic of the portal. What could be greater? Okay, duly noted. Guest bedroom. You can improve your knowledge of the spell Blink here. Ooh, nice. Spell's too low to affect this barrier. Okay, that's just another way down. Okay, why don't we go ahead and take advantage of it. And I got an achievement, Master the Portal Pylons. Okay, Fort Monastery. Let's head there first. Okay, same thing. Second verse, same as the first with the crier. At least we have a fast way to get back to where we need to, if we need to get back to it. Because, yeah, we do have the translate scrolls one we still need to get. Sage Walner, Adrenaline Delivery, Message to Silvar, Mysterious Fort, Message to Silvar. Alright, let's head back to... Oh, it just takes us right back to the portal. Okay, cool. Alright, so we need to go back to William anyway. Wait, where is he at? A farmer named William. Okay, was he further up? I forgot. I have been inside Fort Avernum and know what they are doing there. William looks interested. Really? And can you tell me about it? It's a teleporter. He nods. So there are powerful magical experiments happening right under my family's feet. That's the opposite of reassuring. I appreciate your telling me, friend. I'm sure you aren't supposed to be babbling about such things to a mere farmer. Now I can decide whether to stay here with my eyes open. Trouble with bandits. Okay, hopefully that's not a later consequence, but... Yeah, I mean, he seems harmless enough. my suggestion, though, I would just get away from the fort as far as possible if it was affecting animals. Affecting my animals, anyway. Alright, you have discovered Silvar. Nice. So we discovered Silvar now. And we do have a quest to deliver a message to Silvar, of course. Let's explore the outside area because I'm just that person that does that. Alright, and we have the bridge right there. You reach a wide old stone bridge spanning... Yeah, I saw him follow me. That's why I stopped. Spanning the river out of the eastern gallery. An Avernite soldier approaches and hails you. You see what he has to say. Heading south to Murtis, huh? My name's Sestri. I got put by the bridge to talk to folks heading that way. Let them know what's happening. What is south of here? Keep heading down this road. You'll reach Murtis. Then, more south, there's the Tower Colony. The ruins of the Tower of Magi. Then the road turns west and heads to the Great Cave and the rest of Avernum. Tell me about Murtis. It's a nice little farming town. Or it was when the undead weren't swarming it. Tell me about the Tower of Magi. It's a ruin. The tower got exploded years ago. Now it's a small magic school. There's also the teleporter up to the surface, but I've heard rumors that it isn't working anymore. What is in the Great Cave? Why, everything, pretty much. The castle, Almeria, Blosk, Darman, lots of towers and forts. That's where all the civilization is, not like here. Sestri is still guarding the bridge. Need more information? That's why I got put here. It seems more dangerous for this soldier to be sitting outside the cities, but these are unusual times. What danger should I know about? Murtis, I'd imagine. They're always having problems with the undead. Something about the caves there. Dark magic, evil rocks, I don't know. The undead plague has flared up again, but this time it's much nastier. Or so I hear. Any advice? Well, if you're going south and some skeletons or zombies attack you, I'd run. I hear that weapons just aren't affecting them very much. Do the undead go into Murtis? No, not yet, anyway. If you reach the town, you should be safe, unless the monsters change their minds and attack. Alright, that's all for now. I like how he was scripted to come all the way out to see me. Even though I wasn't going to the bridge quite yet, but whatever. You enter Silvar, the largest city in the Eastern Gallery. Once, Katra, west of here, was larger. Then it was destroyed in the Empire War. It never recovered, and Silvar kept growing. Silvar has been savaged by recent events. It is a trading city, a river port that handled many tons of goods a year. Now that travel by boat is suicide and the roads are closed, merchants have moved on, leaving the streets eerily empty. But that is not the only problem. There is a feeling in the air, a blanket of constant terror. You can see it in the eyes of the guards. Terrified townsfolk peering out at you from nearby buildings. Something very powerful is afflicting the city, infecting the citizens with paranoia. Hopefully their fear won't turn them against you. As you enter Silvar, you feel a horrible, sickly sensation. It isn't temporary either. It just sits there, a ball of illness in the pit of your stomach. A nasty feeling the residents of town must live with all the time. You recognize the feeling. It's the same as the miasma of terror that settled over Formello. The black shade is here. Is it right in the middle? Okay, duly noted. I won't go directly in the center now. But let's go ahead and see what's on the job board. Chitrack Sacks. Chappelle is a blacksmith. His smithy is outside of the Silvar Westgate. He is working on a new variety of composite armor, but he requires rare components. He will pay with quality equipment if you bring him 7 Chitrack egg sacks to continue his work. There is a scroll tacked to the board. It is addressed to someone named Vidrain, thought to currently be in Fort Avernum. The fort is east of Silvar. One letter in the note says, "Please only take this if you have the authority to enter the fort." Augustus, mayor of Silvar, offers a bounty for the discovery and elimination of bandits who have troubled merchant caravans in the area. A reward will be paid for the destruction of the highwayman Quickshank. He was last reported seen in the area of Katra. Lorena, Queen of the Slums, requests your assistance. A huge slime lurks in the middle of the sewers. It emits noxious gases, sickening her people. Speak with her if you can't access the sewers. Destroying the slime earns a bounty, plus the gratitude of the lower classes of Silvar. There is a letter on the job board. It is addressed to Voorhees. Last known location, Murtis. Payment is promised upon delivery. Augustus, mayor of Silvar, offers a bounty for the discovery and elimination of bandits who trouble merchant caravans in the area. A considerable reward will be paid for evidence of the destruction of the highwayman, Skunky Joe. He was last seen roaming the roads around Fort Dramlin. Ooh, that was the guy I saw, like, early on, like... the one that was... When I was trying to search for the bandit cache, and I was about to come across like a group, but I decided to avoid it. Oh, Vidrain, duh. Not Captain Nathan. I don't know why I did that. Vigerain takes the scroll, opens it, reads it, and grumbles. Then he hands it to you. This is not the priceless artifact I was promised. The magic on this is negligible. You should keep it. Maybe it will help you. Okay, I'll gladly take a return life then. Ephraim's weaponry. Oh. Yeah, that only had 3%. There was no way. Ephraim takes the letter, opens it, reads it, and shakes his head. Nothing but bad news, and I'm expected to pay for it. Oh well. He ruefully hands you a gemstone. This old fellow has been running the Silvar weapon shop for a long time. Everything is heavily worn. The tables, the chairs, the huge swords hanging from the north wall. When you enter his shop, he is genuinely torn. He wants to be friendly, but the presence of the shade has been chirping away at his mood. It has become difficult to summon enough energy to be pleasant. Finally, he manages to say, I am Ephraim. This is my shop. Sometimes we are open. I hope I can help. Let me see what you have for sale. He shakes his head sadly. I'm sorry, we are closed. Anastasia would have my head if I tried to trade with an outsider when the shade was about. Please come back in a day or two. It might have moved on by then. This is a training hall. It's the sort of school where adventurers and the adventurer inclined can learn to defend themselves. The head trainer in residence is an old gentleman with sparse gray hair. He has a broadsword at his belt, chainmail on his chest, and a determination to punish laziness. All right, he says, I'm Captain Call. Called Captain, though I haven't been in the army for many years. I'm a trainer, and from the looks of things, I think you'd use a bit of training. Can you train me? He starts to ask what you want to learn, but then he pauses. Then he shudders. The fear that oozes out of the shade has infected him. I am closed. That's right, closed. Need to take lunch. Come back later and maybe I'll teach you something. This woman runs a small armor shop. Despite her advanced age, she is still heavy-set and muscular. Long days at the anvil, making and repairing her goods, requires it. Though she has probably spent a long life as a strong and independent merchant, working so close to the shade has caused serious decay. She is tired and terrified. When approached, she mumbles, I'm Anastasia. This is my shop. I sell armor if you need it. I'd like to buy some of your wares. She looks out the window, then back at you. Her voice is an angry hiss. Murderer, you will murder me. Don't you feel the shade? If I help you, it will claim me. Don't try to buy from Ephraim either. I've made sure my full husband won't take the risk. Then she turns her back to you. You won't be able to trade here as long as the shade is around. Okay, so, yeah, that's probably why there is actually a day system, because of how the shade can, like, stop by and stuff like that. What's a good way to speed up time, I wonder? Wait, can I go all the way back to the room I had and speed up, like, days a little bit? Okay, that doesn't really do anything. Dang it. So, yeah, you have to... Okay, it takes us right back to Fort Avernum at least. So, yeah, that's interesting, though. And I kind of like that, too. You can only do business at some places if the shade isn't there. And right now, it's actually gone. Okay, so now I guess we can do business here. Ephraim smiles weakly. You want to look over my wares a bit more, adventurer? He waves at the weapon rack surrounding him. All of his wares are dusty. He hasn't been keeping things clean. Only the 2 swords on the north wall are still shiny. Have you been selling weapons here long? Only almost as long as Avernum has existed. I was sent down here with my wife Anastasia. We settled not far from the Fort Avernum portal. Ah, Fort Avernum. The memories. You know, it was reopened recently. Tell me about Anastasia. Shh. She runs the armor shop. She doesn't want me talking to strangers, though. That is what drew the shade. Still, I get so lonely. Really? Yes, east of here, though none of us know what it's been open for. They won't let us boring regular people in. You should go look. I bet it's very interesting. What are those big swords on the wall? One of them is just a big sword, nothing of note. The other is my old blade, Demon Slayer. A pause. Oh, I know what you're thinking. It's not the real one, though. That was lost. What is Demon Slayer? The real one? A legendary blade, smuggled down to Avernum and used to destroy the infernal lord Grahoth. It was shattered in the battle and the pieces lost. Then it was found and reforged by adventurers. Where was Demon Slayer lost? Nobody knows. It was reforged again and lost again in the Empire War. Broken, or maybe stolen by enemy soldiers. And gone forever. Unless it's still in the underworld somewhere, waiting. Waiting? Demon Slayer is a true artifact, a protector of our people. I believe it will always return to aid us when times are dark. I like to look at your weapons. Ephraim has been selling weapons here for decades. From the looks of things, some of these rusty old hunks of metal are part of his original stock. Dang. I want to sell something. I don't need anything. Well, bye. Alright. Captain Call inspects you and shakes his head. Nope, I don't think you're ready for adventuring yet. To send you out of here without more training would be a crime. Can he train me? He inspects you closely. You actually show some signs of competence. You are past what I can teach you about blades. However, I picked up a few tricks along the way, focusing rituals. I can't teach you the better chance yet, but I can teach some. Why can't you teach me the better chance? He shakes his head, somewhat ashamed. It takes a lot of concentration and focus to perform those. But the shade, when it visits, it scatters our brains. As long as it's coming and going, I can't manage as well as I should. Can he teach me? Ooh, faith armor, okay. Improve faith armor, yep, we'll do that again. Let's talk about something else. Gladly. What did you do in the army before you left? I traveled from one end of Avernum to the other, killing whatever I was told to. I fought spiders in Fort Remote, slits in Fort Emerald, something slimy outside Fort Draco. I'm a soldier of Avernum, eager to advance. From what I hear, you're doing a good job. You're allowed to travel freely. A rare privilege right now. If you really want to succeed, look for ways to be heroic. Above and beyond. Then go to the castle. That's where the good promotions happen. Any good opportunities for heroism near here? I hear there are tons of bandits northwest of Fort Devno. Fort Janlin has plagues of giant bugs. Detours for you, of course, but profitable ones. Well, I'm all about the profit. What do you think of what's been happening in Silvar? He shakes his head. I think everyone's waiting for someone else to solve the problem. Someone should have some stones to grab at halberd and scare off that shade. Someone who isn't old like me. I can think of only one person who's really trying to figure out how to kill the shade, and that's a sad thing. Everyone else is too scared. Do you really think the soldiers here can kill the shade? No, but you have to try. Better to be frozen solid fighting for your city than to sit around while everyone goes slowly mad. Who is trying to kill the shade? Someone you should probably meet. Though it's a crying shame our hopes lie that low. Go to the slums, talk to Lorena. She can help you meet him. Anastasia looks at the floor and mumbles. What? What do you want now? Shouldn't talk long. Not safe. Strange. Doesn't she know the shade isn't here? How long have you been in Silvar? She lets out an exhausted sigh. Oh, so many years. Me and my husband, we've been down here since the early times, when the Empire threw us down, the dark days of Emperor Hawthorne. We've seen many bad days, but few as bad as these. Emperor Hawthorne? The cruel former leader of the Empire. He sent so many into Avernum, and we got our revenge. We killed him, and modern Avernum was born. Now Empress Prozac is above. She is kind to us, for now. Why were you sent to Avernum? Originally, it was because my husband and I were not the sort to tolerate fools gladly. And when the fool was an Empire official who liked getting rid of those who knew he was a fool, well, we ended up in a place where we could speak our minds. Even with all the war and fear, it is better here. Who is your husband? Ephraim. He runs the weapons shop, 2 doors down. Don't try to shop from him when the shade is around. I won't have him claimed. Claimed? What do you mean? Most of the time when the shade is here, it is still. However, if someone has too much contact with outsiders trying to trade or get help, it will swoop out and freeze that person solid. I shouldn't be talking to you as much now as I am. It's not wise, but I need customers to live. What can you tell me about the shade? When it is here, it is close. I saw it. I saw it destroy City Hall, kill the people, freeze them solid. I will not leave my shop. I refuse. You having the shade close, it affects me. I'd like to buy some armor. Anastasia seems nervous to the point of breakdown, but her goods are of high quality, if a bit expensive. I don't need anything. Then go. I hope we all survive this terrible time. These are Silvar's infamous slums, once quickly built refugee quarters to house those made homeless by the destruction of Katra. They are now home to the poor, desperate, and drunk. The inhabitants seethe and indulge in petty crime until they make the town angry enough and are shipped to the abyss. Though some muggers no doubt lurk in the shadowy corners, you feel perfectly safe. They would have to be mad to attack an experienced warrior. Silvar slums. Respectable citizens should not enter unescorted. You meet a denizen of the slum sitting on the stone ground and staring up at you with wide eyes. People in Avernum end up poor for a variety of reasons. Sickness, laziness, mental instability brought on by life in the underworld. Some beg, some try to get to the tower colony to be teleported to the surface. Some turn to petty crime and are sent to the abyss. Some come to the slums like this one to rot. It's a pitiful sight. Your brief conversation results in nothing of value. Most of the people in the Silvar slum shuffle by quietly, trying to avoid eye contact. Not this woman. She wears a thick leather jacket and several knives hang from her belt. She isn't the slightest bit impressed by you. I am Lorena, she says, queen of the slums. Why have you come into my hovel uninvited? You're queen of the slums? That's what I call myself, honey, and what I make them call me is appropriate for the job I do, and have done for a long time. You've been here for a long time? My parents brought me here when it was a refugee camp. Was full of folk fleeing the smoking ruins of Katra. Was a hard place. People got sick, mold and rot, died. Others left. I stayed. What do you do? I keep order. The city guards are wetting themselves because of the shade. Even if they weren't, they wouldn't care about the slums. So I do. I keep people from beating each other too much. I keep the drunks vomiting in the river instead of the road. I make sure the pickpockets don't bother proper townsfolk too much. How are you able to keep control? I have friends. I have abilities. She snaps her fingers. A tiny puff of flame appears above them. She smiles. A mage lived here a few years ago during a bit of bad luck. We taught each other a lot of tricks. Lorena watches you carefully, one hand on her hip, the other on a knife. What now, traveler? Amusing yourself with a little more time in Avernum's underbelly? I would like to know more about the Shade. All would. The Shade has claimed some of my people. Human or not human, that calls for vengeance. Do you know anything about what's been happening in Silvar? She looks surprised. You know, the beggars and thieves, they know everything that happens in the city. Yet nobody's ever asked us what we think of what's been happening. Nobody wants to know if we found out secrets. Secrets about the Shade. Have you found any secrets? Me? No, or at least none I'm willing to share. But I know someone who's been watching the Shade more than anyone, who knows things. Who? Well, since you asked so nicely, his name is P.I., old drunk down in the sewers. He was an adventurer once, and he still has some instincts. She pulls a tarnished copper key out of her pocket and hands it to you. That'll get you down there. I've heard about you. Here you have the Castle's Eye. Want to know about the Shades? If anyone in the Silvar can tell you something, he can. How do I get into the sewers? Lots of ways. Just keep your eyes open. Looks like I found my way then. You enter Silvar's sewer system, constructed only recently, enables waste to flow out to the river to the west. Every city in Avernum needs a way to carry waste away swiftly, usually to a river or very deep chasm. Otherwise, the lack of ventilation or wind causes real problems. The ground is covered with slime, which grows well in this gross environment. You have to walk slowly and carefully to stay on your feet. Your boots can be burned later. Wait, why enter combat if it's not hostile? Oh. Oh, it's a slime. I thought the rat was trying to attack me. I did not even see the slime behind me. Oozing one. Okay, I don't want to come in here yet. Gaseous goo. Covers with an explosive shield. When a foe attacks this character melee, it will explode, doing magical damage and disabling attacker. At higher levels, provides regeneration and a spine shield. Ooh, okay. That actually sounds very handy. Well, he's not in danger of getting hit by anything at the moment. Ah. Alright, another healing elixir. Okay, I can't get in there. Ooh, PI. Here he is. Hope he doesn't mind me taking his stuff. There are 3 men hiding in the smoky, filthy cavern. 2 are asleep in the corner. 1 sits and pokes at the small fire. He is dirty and unshaven, and he wears a sword on his belt. Empty ale bottles surround him. When he enters the cave, he leaps to his feet and draws his sword. Even drunk and exhausted, he has the paranoid reflexes of a seasoned campaigner. Then, when he sees who you are, he sheaths his sword. Ah, he rasps. I thought you'd be coming down here. I'm P.I. Have a seat. I expect you're wanting to hear what I've been seeing. You heard about me? P.I. hears all down here, even little things. Even me? You're not little. You're the new hope. Heading for the castle. Rumors go fast. Faster when folks are trapped in the towns. P.I. sits on the log and alternates between drinking ale and poking at the fire with the stick. The stench and the smoke don't affect him at all. Moment I heard about you, I knew you'd be down. Hear what old P.I. has to say. Why are you hiding down here? Because this cave is right under where the shade lurks. I found that when you're right below it, the fear doesn't touch your mind. Strange? I know, but true. He is right. In this chamber, you can't feel the aura of fear the shade placed on the town. Are you an adventurer? I was. Once. Long ago. I helped out in the Second Slith War not too many years ago. The Second Slith War? It was a small one, but nasty. Not too long after Empress Prozek let the Avernites back onto the surface, I helped ferry supplies down the Zakazi run, after some other adventurers cleared it out. Why did you quit? Got old and slow, and I'd made my fortune. I have caches of money hid all through Avernum. Now I can afford to relax and drink and stumble through the rest of my days. There's really no better way for you to spend your time? He sighs and shakes his head. For some, yes. Not for P.I. I saw too much. Killed too much. It takes a toll, friend. Sometimes you just have to... He loses track of his train of thought. A swig of ale makes him feel better about it. Want to tell me what you have been seeing? I do. I can't truly enjoy my peace as long as that shade is here. So me and my boys have been watching it, in secret. I trade information with old mates of mine when they pass through, usually on the caravans. I hear you might want to know what I've learned, and you might be able to help me learn more. What have you learned? There are 3 shades in Avernum. One here, one in Almeria, and one in the west half of the Great Cave. They're different, but they do the same thing. They drive the shades mad. Drive the cities mad. They choke the life out of them. And I know something better. I think I know something about their weaknesses. What do you know about the other shades? I don't know anything about the one in the west end of the Great Cave, but I do know about the one in Almeria. It is a disease bringer. It makes people sick, in body and mind. Paranoid. Nobody can get through Almeria now. And since Almeria has the only bridge over the river there, it's cut Avernum in half. And if you meet any Almerians, beware them. They'll stab you in the back and not even realize they're doing it. What is the weakness? I can't say for sure, but I saw it myself. I was watching the shade through a sewer grate at night. Everyone was asleep, and I saw a lone figure. It walked up to the shade, and the shade didn't hurt it. Describe the figure. Very tall, very thin, and wore a big cloak, so I couldn't see more. But what I did see is this. The shade looked down at it. The person took a rod out of its robe, waved it in front of the shade's face, and walked off. Nobody saw it but me. And that's all I saw. I wasn't drunk. It was real. There is something out there controlling those nightmares, and that is who we have to find. Describe the rod. About 3 feet long, looked like it was crystal. That's all I can say. Still means something. The black shade didn't just wander in. It was made. It can be controlled. Makes me think. There's something else I'd like to learn. What do you want to learn? I've heard rumors, but I want to know for sure. I want to know what happens if the shades get hurt. I've heard that there's no point in fighting the shades. If they're hurt too much, they just restore themselves. I want to see it, what it looks like. If it's similar to a spell we know about. I adventured for a long time, and I assembled some good gear. If you can damage a shade enough to get it to heal itself and describe it to me, I will give you some of my old stuff. And checking some other different shade far off does me no good. He points up at the ceiling. Check the one up there, the one I can reach, when you can find it. What if I just kill the shade? He chuckles. Be my guest, if you can do it. How do I find it? If it's not here, it will be in Formello. Sounds like a suicide mission. Maybe not. What I hear is this. When the shade restores itself, it stops moving for a while. That will give you time to run away. Just don't forget about the running part. Well, technically we already did that. I saw the shade's healing spell. He listens with great interest. I see. That is unfamiliar magic, but interesting. The next time a caravan passes through, I'll see if I can get a message about that down at the Tower Colony. And I'm good to my word. I have a home in the ruined wall of Old Katra. You'll know it by the old card out front. I don't go there often, so it's locked up. When you get there, tap the door with your fist 15 times very fast. That'll unlock it. Inside is a chest. Help yourself to what you find. Any more advice for handling the Black Shade? Kind of you to think I can help more. I'm just an old husk, friend. Told you what I can. All I can do. I'm past my time. He looks through his bottles of ale until he finds one with a bit of fluid at the bottom. Then he gets to business. I don't know. I think it kind of goes without saying that it feels like it is Vonatai that are in charge of the Black Shades. Ooh, we found some whites. But yeah, I think it is clear as Vonatai that's responsible. But not the Vonatai that want to... that marked me earlier. Definitely don't delve into like any spoilers, by the way, because I never finished the original Avernum 4, so I don't know how the main story goes at all. So yeah, don't give me any, be sure, definitely don't give me any spoilers here. I kind of wish what happens if you use a cheat code to like boost your characters all the way up and then take on the Black Shade and kill it then. And just see what the dialogue is, but I'm not going to do that. I actually want to play through the story here. Lorena is pleased to hear that you destroyed the goo. That was one of the reasons I let you reach the sewers. That was your reward. That and this. She gives you a small pouch of coins. Modest, I know, but you have our gratitude as well. Alright, next level up is going to be a trait. Let me check the quest real quick. Chitrack Sex. Message to Murtis. Right now, I kind of can go ahead and disregard these, except I still should give the medal to Dottie for a reward. I wonder if he has a maximum, or if he just, or if that's always available. These ones I can't really do right now. Bottles of wine, adrenaline delivery, Chitrack Sacks. Got a couple of bandit bounties, Sage Walner. This is Silvar's Boatworks. The wooden craft that navigate Avernum's waterways are built and repaired here. Although boat travel is currently impossible, the industrious folk of Silvar aren't wasting time. Several boats are being repaired now. Pots of tar bubble nearby for sealing cracks in the hulls. There is a track for rolling the completed boats out to the docks. Soon the craft here will be ready to be taken out to the water where they can sit and wait for the serpents to be gone. This woman greets you with a sigh. She instantly and accurately judges you as having little skill with boats, and therefore of no use to her. Still, politeness demands that she says something. You, adventurers, I'm Ruth, and this is my boatworks. Speak up quick and then get out of our way. You make boats? That's right, I'd even offer to sell you one if it wouldn't be suicide to sail out of here. Wouldn't be the first time I've sold a boat to an adventurer. As it is, I can't help you until something is done about the serpents. How much would a boat cost? Right now, I don't have one for sale for any price. When they are for sale, the price will depend on demand. I'll charge whatever I think I can get. Probably a few hundred coins, a day's loot for butchering bandits. What do you know about the serpents? Not much. They are so hard to see. Big snaky things. I saw one claim a boat once. It was struggling to reach our docks. It lurched out of the water and landed on the craft, swamped it. Just like that. Only took seconds. They are horrors, and does our useless mayor have any ideas for dealing with it? Or will he listen to mine? No. What is your idea? Well, I heard a rumor. Met a caravan of the Smiths outside the West Gate. They were traveling along the coast west of Katra. They looked across the water to an island to the south and they saw shapes moving on it. Big ones. Snaky. I've been trying to get someone to go investigate, but not a bit of luck. It seems like it would be worth the time. If I get a chance, I'll look into it. Ruth is pleasantly surprised. Well, that's good to hear. At least someone listens. As I said, island south of the coast, west of Katra. If you can find some evidence of where the sea monsters came from, and I'll bet you can, tell me about it. How do I get to the island? Without a boat? Tough question. I'm sure you'll think of something. Cast a spell or some similar nonsense. What should I do if I find something interesting? How should I know? I just make boats. Stab the bad things. Help the good things. Tell me what you learn. Things look very busy here. We are hard-working folk in Silvar, shade or no shade. If we can't sail our ships, we'll maintain them for when we can. Being a sailor in Avernum is dangerous business, even in the best of times. I make sure the boats are in good shape. What makes it so dangerous? The dark, the icy water, the rapids. Every sailor knows one thing for sure. If you go over the side, you're probably dead. When do you think it will be safe to sail again? She snorts. When someone in charge does something useful. Anything. So not soon. The box contains charts and maps, papers that would be useful for sailors on the dark waters of Avernum. There are also a few boat blueprints. None of it seems valuable to you. Okay, that's just another way down here. Okay, so we have to... Mayor Augustus. Mass healing. Bolivar and Mayor Augustus. Okay. Alright. I'm actually going to make sure the game is saved right here. But I'll see you all in the next part of Let's Play.